This drawing isn't made by a 5-year-old, but an artist making millions of dollars. But how is he doing this? It all started a couple of weeks ago. I was bored out of my mind, so I scoured the internet to find something interesting, and I discovered an anime called One Punch Man. It's about a super strong bald guy who can defeat anyone with just one punch, and I absolutely loved it. The animation, fights, and plot were amazing, but all good things come to an end and I soon finished it. But I craved more, so I found that the anime is actually just an adaptation of the manga. As soon as I opened the first page, the art blew my mind, but just like the anime, I soon finished it. But I still wanted more, so I lived on the One Punch Man subreddit for a while and found out that the manga was actually just an adaptation of the webcomic. And because I loved the series so much, I decided to read it. But as soon as I opened the first chapter, I was bamboozled, flabbergasted. I refreshed the page, rubbed my eyes, but nothing changed. The art was actually this terrible. Mind you, this is the anime, this is the manga, well this is the webcomic. But I was even more shocked to find out how much money the original creator of the webcomic, One, had made from the series. It was at least $30 million, according to ChatGPT. But that's not all. One didn't just have one successful series, he had created multiple really successful series, even with his terrible drawing skills. And that got me thinking, there must be something going on here. And I found some pretty interesting stuff. One's manga journey began when he was a kid. At the time, his parents gifted him a manga called Crayon Shinchan, and he loved it. So ever since that moment, One started creating his own manga. He created 2 manga, Sunman and Tennis Player Ryu. Both of these even appeared as cameos in the One Punch Man manga, but unfortunately both series never got any attention. Fast forward a couple of years, One began publishing the webcomic One Punch Man to his FC2 blog irregularly. Originally, he only wanted to practice his drawing skills, but unexpectedly, the webcomic did way better than he thought. It started getting attention. But how could he succeed with such bad drawing skills? Usually, manga artists do anything they can to improve their art, just like some of the best-selling manga. All of them have a common trait, and that's majestic art. But One does the complete opposite. It's almost like he doesn't care. And there's actually a theory going around that he's doing this intentionally. Now, even though his art looks really bad, it feels unique. When we look at the manga's art, it's super detailed, but if there's just a line or shading missing from it, it feels incomplete. However, One's art is all about this incompleteness. One's blotches are undefined, so readers can fill in the gaps between the images with their own imagination, which proves that at the end of the day, One is still an artist. He knows what he's doing. There's also the theme of the series itself. One Punch Man is supposed to be funny, and One's art just fits the comedic undertone more. But that's obviously not enough to justify his success, so this leads us to the second point. When we think of manga, manhwa, or comics, the first thing we notice is the art. But One throws this completely out of the window. He doesn't focus on the art like others. As long as he can convey his ideas clearly, that's enough. But this begs the question, what else is he doing to make up for his terrible drawing skills? In one of the series arcs, the Sea Monster arc, a monster terrorizes a city, and many high-ranking heroes try to stop him, but they all get defeated. Right at this moment, however, Mumen Rider, the weakest hero among them, stands up against the Deep Sea King despite being powerless, showing how heroic he is. And after a long struggle, Saitama, the main character, arrives and defeats the Deep Sea King in a single punch with his absolute strength, thus saving Mumen Rider and everyone else. However, things turned out unexpected. Instead of thanking him, people started doubting and slandering him, saying he was just lucky and the monster had already been weakened. But Saitama didn't rebuke this. He accepted it and gave credit to the fallen heroes instead. Surprisingly, some people thought this scene was more emotional in the webcomic, because the simple art allowed readers to focus more on the story and emotions rather than flashy fights. So the thing carrying the webcomic is One's storytelling ability. He has the ability to build tension and emotion. But what if I told you the stuff I said earlier isn't even the most important key to his success? You see, One started this webcomic as a hobby, and he gained fame for the reasons I mentioned earlier, but it wasn't good enough to make him millions of dollars. That is until he met Murata Yusuke. They partnered together and released the manga version, which combined both One's storytelling talent and Murata's artistic talent. This completely blew up the series. It got an anime adaptation and is now one of the best-selling manga. And if we combine the webcomic, manga, anime, merchandise, and games, One Punch Man has raked in well over $100 million, and One definitely got a chunk of that. Since One Punch Man one is this popular, it's obvious many people love it. But what happens when people take their obsessions too far? Watch this video to find out.